The Forgotten Powers of the Human Spirit. Introduction. There is a reason you have always felt different. A reason you have sensed there is more to you. More than flesh. More than logic. More than what you were taught to believe. You were never wrong. You were remembering. Because within you rest dormant forces that challenge every rule you were told was reality. Powers that ancient mystics spoke of in whispers. Abilities the mystery schools protected for centuries. Gifts the modern world has tried to mock, medicate, or explain away. Yet they are still there, waiting, not in a chosen few, but in you. Yes, you. This is not another motivational speech. This is not a trick of the mind. This is a transmission, a call to the soul that already knows the truth, that telepathy is real, that your body is a vehicle, not a cage, that your mind can influence matter, that your spirit can leave this dimension and return carrying wisdom. This is your inheritance, and you are here to reclaim it. For too long, humanity has been hypnotized, trained to obey the five senses as if they were prison bars, taught to dismiss dreams, silence intuition, and laugh at miracles. But the veil is thinning, and something inside you is waking up. You have had glimpses. You have sensed another person's thoughts before they spoke. You felt the energy in a room shift without a single word. You have known things you could not logically explain. You have dreamed of places that felt more real than this world. You were not imagining it. You were remembering your power. This audiobook is an initiation, not into fiction, but into remembrance. It draws from ancient esoteric teachings the modern world has forgotten on purpose, from the seers of the past who lived between worlds, from The Secret Doctrine by Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, which revealed the layered structure of reality, from the sacred teachings of Egypt, India, Tibet, and Atlantis. Yes, Atlantis, not as myth, but as memory. This is not fantasy. This is sacred knowledge. There are 7 powers, 7 keys to unlocking the fullness of what it means to be human. No, more than human. A being of light moving through form. Each chapter will reveal a hidden gift, a faculty resting within your energetic body, your soul's blueprint, your forgotten lineage. They are real, they are ancient, and they are yours. But a warning, this is not about entertainment. It is not about gaining cool abilities. It is about responsibility, purity, alignment. Because power without awareness becomes destruction, but power with presence transforms everything. Are you ready? Because once you hear these truths, you cannot unhear them. Once your mind remembers what your soul already knows, your life will never be the same. You will sense energy, feel vibrations, navigate the unseen. You will stop asking if you are crazy and start asking why you waited so long to remember. You are not here by accident. You were drawn to these words by something deeper than algorithms. This message reached you because your soul whispered, "It's time. Time to unlock what has been sealed. Time to awaken what was buried. Time to remember who you truly are." So take a breath. Let your logical mind soften. Let your inner being step forward. Because what you are about to hear is not a lesson. It is a calling to the deeper self, to the part of you that never forgot, to the soul that knows it came here for more. This is not fantasy. This is the unveiling of the human being as the divine instrument it was always meant to be. Now let us begin the return. Your first power is waiting. Chapter 1. Telepathy, the silent language of the soul. What if I told you that words are the weakest form of communication? That before your lips shape a sentence, your mind has already spoken entire volumes. You have felt it. The instant you thought of someone just before they called. The strong awareness that someone across the room was watching you. The sudden chill along your spine when a person near you carried heavy thoughts without speaking a word. This is not a coincidence. It is not magic. It is telepathy, and it is one of your oldest and most natural abilities. Long before language, long before speech, humans communicated soul to soul, thought to thought. This is not a theory. It is an ancient memory. The Atlanteans, as Helena Petrovna Blavatsky wrote in The Secret Doctrine, spoke not with tongues but with minds. Their communication was pure imagery, direct transmissions of meaning, untouched by deception or distortion. Those who preserved this power, seers, mystics, yogis, prophets, could read thoughts as easily as reading a page. You are no different. Telepathy is not reserved for the gifted or the chosen. It is a dormant sense waiting to awaken within you. Why has it not awakened yet? Because modern life has trained you to ignore it, to distract the mind, to fear silence, to clutter your thoughts, and most of all, to believe you are separate from others. But thought is not private. It is vibrational. The subtle field around you, the ether, records everything. You are always transmitting and always receiving. Imagine the mind as a tuning fork. When properly aligned, it detects even the softest frequencies, the faintest thoughts. But when filled with static, fear, overthinking, osirdansking noise, it detects nothing. Telepathy does not require effort. It requires clarity. Here is a truth that will guide us through this entire audiobook. Power flows where purity grows. As your mind clears, it returns to its natural state, receptive, intuitive, telepathic. In the theosophical system, the mental plane is described as a realm where thoughts are real forms. They move, connect, and influence. When you think of someone with intensity, you create a thought form that reaches them. If they are sensitive enough or emotionally connected to you, they will feel it. This is not a metaphor. It is energy in motion. Most people misunderstand telepathy. It is not only about reading thoughts. It is about sensing emotions, intentions, even soul states without words. Beneath every sentence is a frequency, and that frequency always reveals the truth. Telepathy is the art of listening beyond language. So how do you awaken it? Not through force, not through strain, through stillness. The first step is mental silence. Your mind must become like calm water, reflective, receptive, undisturbed. Most people live in constant mental noise. Thoughts collide, repeat, shout. In that storm, no signal can be heard. But in stillness, you begin to sense, not emotionally, but energetically. You will notice when someone near you feels sadness, even if they smile. You will know when someone is thinking of you, even if they never reach out. You will begin receiving impressions, images, symbols, subtle flashes, before anyone speaks. This is not imagination. It resonates. Telepathy exists in the space between minds, the shared field where your thoughts meet collective consciousness. As you tune in, you begin to hear more than words. You begin to perceive essence. In ancient mystery schools, telepathy was trained with sacred practices. Eye-gazing to connect without speech. Mental projection, where one held an image and another described it. Dream circles, where messages were exchanged during sleep. These practices faded in the modern world, but they are not lost. You can reclaim them. Here is a simple activation to begin. The inner mirror exercise. Each morning, sit quietly. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. As your mind settles, visualize someone you love. Hold their image in your heart, not your head. Now, without words, send them a feeling. Peace, love, strength. Not through thinking, but through being. Then release it. Observe what unfolds throughout the day. Often they will call, message you, or feel a subtle shift without knowing why. You are not sending something outward. You are aligning with their soul on a subtle level. And the soul always hears what the ears cannot. As your awareness expands, a responsibility follows. You will realize your thoughts influence others. You are not isolated. When you silently judge someone, they sense it. When you silently love someone, they sense that as well. Train your mind to become a sanctuary, a temple of clear thought, noble intention, and clean frequency. This is not only the path of telepathy, it is the path of awakening. When humanity remembers this gift, the world will shift. Words will lose their power to divide. Silence will become sacred. The soul will communicate without needing speech. You are not learning something new. You are remembering something ancient. And now that remembrance has begun, the other powers will awaken more quickly. Your mind is no longer a cage. It is a bridge to every soul you have ever loved and every truth you have ever known. Take a breath. Your next power is beginning to stir, and it will show you that seeing is not limited to the eyes. Chapter 2. Clairvoyance. Awakening the eye of vision. Close your eyes and see. Yes, see. Not with flesh, but with light. Not with form, but with essence. The physical eyes reveal only surfaces. The inner eye reveals the soul of reality. You were born with 3 eyes, yet only 2 have been allowed to function. The third, known as the Ajna chakra in Eastern traditions, the Eye of Horus in Egypt, and the lamp of the body in esoteric Christianity, has been sealed, not by nature, but by culture, by conditioning, by forgetfulness. But it is beginning to open. Clairvoyance means clear seeing, not fortune-telling, not superstition, but a higher faculty of perception is hidden behind the noise of the physical senses. There was a time when this ability was honored, when prophets, seers, and sages walked beside rulers and kings, not as entertainers, but as trusted advisors, because they perceived the truth, not only what is, but what has been, and what is waiting to unfold, and you have had glimpses, a dream that later unfolded in real life, a vision during meditation, a sudden flash of an image just before something happened. You dismissed it as coincidence. You were trained to, but your soul knew better. Clairvoyance is not rare. It is repressed. It is the birthright of a consciousness no longer confined to density. In the Seer of Prevorst, Justinus Kerner documented the visions of a woman who, though barely educated, could perceive the soul wounds of others, communicate with the departed, and sense spiritual energies across distance. She was not insane, she was open. Her inner eye had unfolded like a lotus, and the unseen became visible. So what is this third eye? Physically, it is linked to the pineal gland, a small organ deep within the brain, shaped like a pine cone and sensitive to light. Ancient civilizations regarded it as sacred. In Egypt, the Eye of Ra and the Eye of Horus symbolically reflected its structure. In Hindu traditions, it was honored on the forehead with sacred ash or vermilion. In Christianity, Jesus said, "If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light." This is not poetry alone. It is spiritual anatomy. But here is the truth rarely spoken. Your third eye is not blind. It is covered by fear, by distraction, by toxins in the body and in thought, by disbelief. Yet beneath that veil, it continues to pulse like a cosmic receiver waiting for its signal. When it begins to activate, subtle changes appear. You may notice energy flickering around people. You may sense colors where none seem to exist. With closed eyes, you might see symbols, shapes, even faces. Dreams may become vivid, even prophetic. You may wake with visions that feel more real than physical life. You are not losing your mind. You are shedding an illusion. Clairvoyance is not about escaping reality. It is about seeing through it. You will begin to recognize the energetic truth behind smiles, the hidden currents beneath words, the fields of light surrounding plants, animals, and even thoughts. Reality will begin to read like a living text. But understand this. This power requires purity. The third eye is not only a lens, it is a mirror. What you perceive through it depends on what lives within you. A fearful mind sees threats. A prideful ego sees fantasy. A clear heart sees truth, whole and luminous. This is why the mystery schools demanded purification of thought, emotion, and desire before teaching sacred vision. Because sight without wisdom is another form of blindness. So how do you awaken clairvoyance? You begin by entering the still light, the quiet space behind the forehead where thought softens and subtle vision begins. Here is an ancient practice once used in temples of initiation. The violet flame mirror. Violet flame. Find a quiet space. Sit or lie comfortably. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly and deeply. Visualize a small violet flame at the center of your forehead, where the third eye resides. With each breath, see it growing brighter. Not hot, but radiant. Now ask a question, not from your mind, but from your soul. Something sincere. Do not search for an answer. Simply wait. Images may arise. Feelings, symbols. Allow them. Let them communicate. When you feel complete, open your eyes gently and write down what you experienced. Practice this for 7 days. Observe the patterns. Notice the synchronicities. This is not imagination. It is training. Each time you enter the violet flame, the veil thins slightly, and the eye of vision opens further. And if you see nothing at first, do not worry. Clairvoyance speaks in many ways. Some perceive images, some sense feelings, some hear subtle impressions, some simply know. The form does not matter. Clarity does. With time, you may begin to perceive auras, the luminous fields surrounding living beings. You may sense emotional states before words are spoken. You may even perceive higher presences, guides, ancestors, fragments of soul, not as hallucination, but as perception beyond the visible spectrum. Then you will understand. You were never blind. You were distracted. Now you are returning to your natural state, a being of light grounded in the body, yet connected to the cosmos. Clairvoyance is not the destination. It is a tool, a sacred eye for a sacred purpose. To see with compassion, to witness the truth, to recognize the divine behind every mask. As you move through your day, practice sacred seeing. Look beyond words. Sense the colors behind emotions. Listen with the center of your forehead, not only with your ears. Slowly, a new world will reveal itself, a world of energy, symbols, synchronicity, and soul. You will no longer walk unaware. You will walk illuminated, and with every step, you become what you once searched for. The Seer. Chapter 3. Intuition. The voice of the higher self. There is a voice within you that does not shout. It does not argue. It does not demand attention. It simply knows. And when you follow it, doors open where walls once stood. This is intuition, not instinct, not analysis, not a lucky guess. It is divine intelligence flowing through you like a quiet river beneath the noise of the mind. You have felt it before. A calm certainty while making a decision. A sudden urge to leave just before something went wrong. A feeling about someone that later proved completely true. You did not know how you knew. You just did. That was not a chance. That was not luck. That was your higher self speaking through silence. Intuition is the native language of the soul. It does not speak in logic or long explanations. It communicates through symbols, sensations, and sudden clarity. It moves faster than thought, deeper than reason, and cleaner than emotion. It is the whisper of the infinite within you. In Initiation, Elizabeth Heich describes how initiates in ancient Egyptian temples were trained to quiet the mind, not to empty it, but to hear what exists beyond it. They learned to distinguish the voice of ego from the voice of the eternal self. That is what you must now remember. Intuition is not something you create. It is something you unblock. The modern world trains you to doubt it, to depend only on logic, to calculate, to demand proof. But intuition does not argue for validation. It simply speaks and waits. And when you listen, your life begins to move in harmony with an intelligence greater than your personal mind. Understand this clearly. Intuition is precise. It is connected to a field beyond time and space. It senses what is approaching. It perceives the energetic consequences of every path. When intuition guides you, it is operating from the level of soul agreements, karmic alignment, and unseen truth. To ignore it is to walk blindfolded. To follow it is to walk aligned with the intelligence that dreamed you into existence. But there is a challenge. The ego is loud, fear is subtle, desire is persuasive. They can imitate intuition if you are not attentive. So how do you tell the difference? Intuition feels peaceful, even when it warns you. Fear feels urgent, even when it promises comfort. True intuition does not pressure. It arrives quietly, a steady knowing in your body, a calm resonance in your chest, a gentle pull in your solar plexus. There is no drama, only clarity. You do not argue with it. You either follow it or later feel the cost of ignoring it. The more you listen, the stronger it becomes. Like a muscle, it sharpens with use and weakens with neglect. And when it strengthens, life begins to feel guided. You move before the wave rises. You say yes before the opportunity appears. You say no before danger forms. Others call it luck. You recognize it as alignment. In esoteric philosophy, the soul has layers: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Intuition flows from a higher plane of unity where all knowledge is interconnected. When you access that level, you are not thinking, you know. Intuition does not predict the future. It remembers possibilities. On higher levels of awareness, all potentials already exist. Trusting intuition means aligning with the timeline that resonates with your soul. As this trust deepens, synchronicities increase. Events align. Meetings feel orchestrated. You begin to walk as if guided, because you are. To strengthen this power, practice stillness and surrender. Begin with this exercise, the inner compass. Find a quiet moment. Close your eyes. Take a slow breath and relax your body. Think of a small decision, something real but not overwhelming. Ask the question internally without analyzing. Now bring your awareness to your solar plexus, your gut. Feel instead of think. Does your body expand or tighten? Do you sense openness or contraction? Notice the very first response. Trust it. Act on it. Observe what happens. Repeat this daily, gradually, with larger decisions. You are not guessing. You are tuning yourself. Soon you will sense what is right even before it makes logical sense. You will step away from paths your ego once loved, but your soul has outgrown. You will stop begging for signs, because you will become one. Anchor this deeply. The higher self is not distant. It is you beyond fear, beyond doubt, beyond confusion. When you listen to it, you stop reacting to life and begin co-creating it. Walk with stillness. Decide with peace. The mind analyzes. The soul knows. And now, with your inner compass awakening, you are ready to remember the next power. One that reveals you are not only consciousness, but force. Chapter 4. Telekinesis. The mind that moves matter. You were taught that matter is solid, fixed, unchangeable, without physical force. But ancient masters understood something deeper. Matter responds to consciousness. Telekinesis, the ability to influence objects, outcomes, and physical conditions through focused awareness, may sound impossible to the rational mind, but to awaken consciousness, it is forgotten knowledge. The foundation is simple. All is mind, all is energy, all is vibration. This principle appears in Hermetic teachings and initiation schools across history. You are not separate from your environment. You are woven into it. When thought becomes focused and coherent, it begins to influence what once seemed immovable. What you call matter is not truly solid. It is vibrating particles organized at certain frequencies. Even modern physics now suggests that observation influences behavior, that consciousness interacts with form. Ancient saints and sages were described as performing miracles, walking on water, levitating, healing with touch, manifesting provision. They were not breaking natural law. They were working with a deeper layer of it. The key is will, focused will, clear intention, unwavering belief. Telekinesis is not about spectacle. It is about influencing the energetic field through coherent vibration, and it begins with alignment. The mind projects, the body transmits, the heart amplifies. When these three work together, thought becomes force. You have already experienced subtle forms of this. You enter a room and feel tension immediately. You sense anger before words are spoken, and your body reacts. That is an energetic influence, natural, untrained, but real. Now, imagine that influence becoming conscious, directed, precise. When energy is no longer scattered but focused, reality begins to respond. In yogic teachings, such abilities are called siddhis, powers that arise from deep stillness, not desire. The quieter the mind becomes, the stronger its effect. Because in stillness, thought is clear and undistorted. Here is something many overlook. Your mind is always affecting matters. Most of the time, it does so unconsciously. Worry generates tension. Anger spreads disorder. Fear draws toward you what you most wish to avoid. The question is not whether you influence reality. The question is whether you do so consciously. But when you become conscious of this flow, you step into mastery. Let us begin with a practice once used in ancient mystery schools. Exercise. The flame of will. Sit in a quiet space. Light a small candle. Gaze at the flame, not to analyze it, but to merge with it. As you breathe, imagine the flame responding to your awareness. Not through force, not through strain, through connection. As you exhale, see it flicker gently. Feel your energy field expanding, softly surrounding the flame. Begin to sense that the flame is not separate from you, but part of the same field. When you feel ready, give a subtle inner command. Move slightly to the right. Grow taller. Do not expect it. Do not overthink. Simply observe. Practice this daily, not to dominate, but to connect. With time, you may notice subtle movements, especially when your energy is calm, focused, and emotionally neutral. Why does this matter? Because telekinesis is not about controlling objects. It is about aligning your vibration with the structure of reality, so your intention flows with nature rather than against it. The greatest adepts did not force the world to obey. They became so internally aligned that the external world reflected their order naturally. That is the essence of this power. You may not yet move stones or lift feathers, but you can begin influencing your environment. Enter a room and shift its atmosphere with your presence alone. Place your hand over a glass of water and fill it with calm or gratitude. Then drink and observe how you feel. Focus on calming the storm within yourself and notice how often the outer world mirrors that inner shift. Telekinesis begins subtly. A flicker, a chill, a vibration, a sense that the air has changed because your inner state has changed. As you trust these small shifts, they grow. Reality responds to those who believe in its responsiveness. But here is what matters most. Purify your will. The ego seeks power to control. The soul seeks power to harmonize. When your intention aligns with love, balance, and higher intelligence, your influence becomes healing rather than intrusive. Do not chase spectacle. Chase coherence. The mind that moves matter is not the loudest. It is the most still. Let your thoughts become intentional. Let your will align with the greater good. Let your body become a silent conductor of unseen forces. You will realize you were never trapped in this world. You have always been shaping it. With every thought, every breath, every frequency you carry. Now let us move into a deeper power. One that stretches beyond space and time. One that allows you to sense the unfolding before it becomes visible. Chapter 5. Precognition. The soul that sees across time. Have you ever sensed something before it happened? A dream, a flash, a quiet certainty that someone was about to call or that something was about to unfold. That was not a coincidence. It was not my imagination. It was precognition. The soul remembering what the mind has not yet experienced. Time is not what you were taught. It is not a straight line with the past behind and future ahead. Time is a field, a living ocean of possibilities flowing around you, and your soul knows how to navigate it. In mystery traditions, the soul was never seen as bound to the clock. It exists beyond linear time, where past, present, and potential futures coexist in one vast awareness. Precognition is not predicting the future. It is tuning into a vibrational thread that already exists. You are not guessing. You are remembering something that has not yet unfolded physically. As you become more attuned, these glimpses increase. You begin to live in what mystics call the eternal now, a still moment that contains all moments. Precognition does not arise through force. It arises through openness, through quiet receptivity. Many dismiss these impressions because they do not fit logic. But logic is built from the past. Precognition is the voice of what is forming. You have heard this voice before. The time you canceled plans and later realized you avoided something harmful. The instant warning about someone that proved accurate. The strange dream that later unfolded in waking life. You did not calculate it. Your subtle awareness was reading beyond the visible layer. In esoteric teachings, particularly in theosophical and hermetic systems, there is described a causal plane, a higher layer of reality, where intentions and actions exist as energetic imprints. These imprints form patterns within the field of time, and the soul, when quiet, can sense those patterns, like reading texture in darkness. Precognition is not fate. It is awareness of direction. It does not mean the future is fixed. It means your soul senses the most likely outcome based on current energy. And once aware, you can shift it. This is the deeper truth. Seeing what may come is not about surrendering to it. It is about gaining the ability to redirect it. If you sense danger, you can change course. If you sense an opportunity, you can prepare early. If a path feels misaligned, you can choose a new one. You are not only experiencing timelines, you are shaping them. One of the most powerful gateways for precognition is the dream state. When you sleep, the ego rests. The thinking mind loosens. The soul moves freely through symbols, messages, and potential futures. Ancient cultures understood this. In Egypt, dreams were treated as sacred messages. In Greece, dream temples were built for healing and vision. Mystical traditions across cultures taught that dreams are not random. They are meaningful. You have had prophetic dreams before. Now you are ready to honor them. Exercise, the dream mirror ritual. Before sleep, sit quietly with a journal nearby. Place your hand over your heart and say softly, "Tonight, I open myself to receive clear vision. I ask to remember what my soul already knows." As you fall asleep, remain relaxed and receptive. When you wake, write immediately. Even fragments, even feelings. Do not analyze. Just record. Patterns will emerge. Symbols will repeat. Messages will clarify. And slowly, you will realize that time is not your limitation. It is your medium. Look for patterns, symbols, emotions that feel louder than the dream itself. After several nights, you will begin to notice echoes in your waking life. You are not waiting for the future. You are remembering the frequencies your soul has already walked through in another layer of time. Precognition can also occur while awake, if you are present enough. In moments of stillness, meditation, or deep emotion, the veil thins. You may see flashes, hear internal phrases, or sense what is coming. Since timelines move even before your body acts, here is how to trust them. Do not wait for confirmation. Act on alignment. Do not dismiss small insights. They are precursors. When something feels real beyond reason, it often is. With this gift comes responsibility. If you can sense the currents of time, you must learn humility, not to manipulate, but to serve, not to fear, but to harmonize. The greatest prophets were not seeking fame. They were seeking alignment. Let that be your path. Do not chase power for control. Let your vision become a bridge between the present and what is possible. And remember, what you see is always shifting. You are not fixed. Your future is not fixed. But if you listen closely, your soul will guide you toward your highest unfolding. You are not just a body moving through time. You are a consciousness reaching through it, shaping destiny with presence. Now that you understand this, you are ready to awaken another power, one that shows how your hands, your breath, and your intention can heal the world around you. Chapter 6. Energy Healing. Channeling the Vital Force. You are a healer, not because of training, not because of titles, but because your being was designed to conduct life force. The only question is, have you remembered how? There is an energy flowing through all things. The ancients called it prana, chi, ruach, spiritus, baraka, or the odic force. It is the breath behind breath, the pulse behind heartbeat, the invisible thread linking soul to body. When this energy flows freely, there is vitality. When it stagnates, illness arises. Modern science is only beginning to glimpse this truth. Your body is not just a receiver, it is a transmitter. You are a living bridge between the cosmic current and the physical plane. With presence, intention, and purity, you can direct this energy to heal yourself and others. Energy healing is not fantasy. It is ancient technology. Mystics and healers across cultures understood it. The laying on of hands in early Christianity, Reiki in Japan, the Qigong masters of China, pranic healers in India, shamans, and medicine women all accessed the same universal life force through touch, breath, chant, and love. You can do this too. Right now, your hands carry voltage. Your heart emits a measurable electromagnetic field. Your intention guides how energy flows through your body. You do not need tools. You are the tool. But this power requires alignment. Energy follows intention, and intention follows vibration. When scattered, fearful, or ego-driven, the energy you transmit is distorted. When still, open, and centered, you become a vessel for divine flow. Healing does not come from you. It flows through you. Remember this. You are not the source. You are the bridge. The healer is not a hero. The healer is the hollow bone, the open flute, the sacred current. When your body, mind, and soul align with the source, miracles emerge naturally. Illness dissipates. Emotional wounds release. Blocked energy moves. Not because of action, but because you step aside and allow it. Exercise. Hands of light. Sit calmly with palms facing up, resting gently on your lap. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply and let your body relax. Visualize a radiant golden white light descending from above your head. See it flowing through your crown, down your spine, through your arms, and into your hands. Feel your palms tingle, vibrate, or warm. Place your hands gently on your heart or over any area needing support. Do not try to fix or force anything. Be present. Allow the energy to flow. Feel gratitude, not to yourself, but to the divine current moving through you. Remain in this space for 5 to 10 minutes. Then breathe deeply, open your eyes, and rest. This practice awakens your healing current. Over time, you may feel the pain of others as your own. You may be drawn to place your hands on people, to breathe with them, to share calm through gaze alone. You are not imagining it. You are remembering what your body has always known. Your palms are portals. Your breath is a transmitter. Your presence is a frequency that influences everything it touches. But always remember, the true healer is not you. The true healer is the intelligence behind the energy, the source, the infinite, the divine. You are simply a bridge. Walk humbly. Heal with reverence. Let love, not ego, guide your hands and your presence. All illness is a disruption in harmony, a misalignment between body, mind, and spirit. The energy healer does not fight disease. You do not battle the body. You restore balance. You call back the blueprint of wellness that already exists in the higher planes. You do not force healing. You call it. And the way to call it is through coherence. When your heart is calm, open, loving, and grateful, it emits waves that entrain others. Your field becomes a tuning fork for balance. This is why the most powerful healers are not necessarily the most trained, but the most present, surrendered, and loving. Their energy communicates what words cannot. You are safe. You are seen. You are whole. Let that settle within you. You are ready to remember this healing power. It is not something you will earn in the future. You were born with it, a soul within a human instrument. This body, this heart, this breath, They exist to serve something sacred. Next time someone you love is in pain, do not rely on words alone. Place your hand on their shoulder. Breathe. Feel the current flow. Say nothing. Let silence carry the transmission. They will feel it. Healing is not fixing. It is a reminder. It is transmitting wholeness already present beneath the wound. Now that you have felt the current, you are ready for the final initiation. A power both ancient and profound, feared by some, revered by those who understand it. A journey beyond the body, where consciousness learns to fly. Chapter 7. Astral Projection. The journey beyond the body. You are not your body. This is not just a spiritual metaphor. It is literal truth. Your body is a sacred vehicle, a temple for experience. But it is not the limit of your being. You are conscious. You are a soul. You are spirit, wrapped in light. You were never meant to be confined. You have known this. That sensation of floating just before sleep. That sudden jolt, as if falling back into yourself. That dream was so vivid, it felt like travel. Because you did travel. This is astral projection, the final hidden power you must remember. For thousands of years, mystics, sages, and initiates described this ability. To consciously leave the physical body, explore invisible realms, soar beyond time and space, visit other planes, meet guides, soul companions, even your higher self. In Egypt, it was called the bar leaving the ka. In India, yogis spoke of tidhi, or yogic flight. In theosophy, etheric projection. Indigenous wisdom called it soul walking, dream time travel, or shamanic flight. Across all traditions, it was treated as sacred, not as illusion or trickery. Once you experience life beyond the body, you cannot return to believing that this material world is all there is. What is astral projection? It is the shift of consciousness into the astral body, a subtle energy form overlaying your physical body. This body is luminous, composed of light, and not bound by physical laws. It moves through the astral plane, a world of thought, symbol, energy, and vibration. This plane is real. You visit it every night in your sleep. You just do not remember because you haven't trained yourself to maintain consciousness during the transition. Here is how it works. When you sleep or enter deep meditation, your physical body slows, your etheric body softens, your astral body begins to rise. You may feel buzzing, vibrations, heaviness, lightness, or ringing in the ears. If you remain calm, aware, and open, you can slip through the veil. At first, you may float above your body, seeing it from outside. This is not a dream. You are fully conscious, free to move without effort, able to be yourself anywhere. With practice, you gain control. You can travel to lower astral realms, where unhealed energies and fragmented thoughts dwell. Only go there when grounded. You can visit middle realms to meet other travelers, learn lessons, and receive insight. You can access higher realms filled with light, sacred geometry, libraries of knowledge, and divine intelligences. This is not fantasy. It is spiritual science. And with it comes great power and great responsibility. When you travel beyond the body, dimensions respond instantly to thought and vibration. Whatever you carry, fear, love, curiosity, ego, is amplified. Preparation is essential. Astral projection is not an escape. It is exploration, guided by sacred intent. Exercise. Gateway of flight. Before sleep, dim the lights and lie on your back. Breathe deeply. Release all tension. Visualize your body filling with light, especially in the crown of your head and heart center. Repeat silently, I remain conscious, as I move between realms. Allow your body to sleep while keeping your mind gently awake. Vibrations, floating sensations, or heaviness may arise. This is the separation phase. When the feeling deepens, imagine rolling out of your body, like peeling a second layer. Do not force. Gently will yourself to float. If successful, look at your hands. They may appear fluid, translucent, glowing. Set your intention. Take me where I need to go. Trust the pull. You may awaken moments later or return with vivid memories and insights. This is the final key, the ultimate freedom of consciousness, the proof that you are not limited to flesh and form, but a luminous, eternal being capable of traversing all realms. Either way, you are activating the doorway. With time, this process becomes easier. The more you trust, the more vivid your journeys become. You may meet guides, enter halls of learning, revisit past lives, or even assist others on subtle levels. But always protect yourself energetically. Call in light. Surround yourself with sacred symbols. Keep your heart aligned. You are not simply playing with visions. You are crossing thresholds of consciousness. And now that you know how to leave the body, you must ask yourself why. Why do you want to travel beyond? Not for entertainment, not to prove anything, but to remember the truth of your infinite self. Astral projection is a tool, a gift, a mirror. It reveals what you are beyond the illusion. It teaches you that death is not the end, that form is fluid, that you are far more than flesh and name. When you return, you walk through this world lighter, calmer, wiser, with less fear, less attachment, and more compassion. Because once you've touched the stars with your soul, the noise of the world begins to fade. So now, dear traveler, you've awakened all 7 powers. You've remembered what your mind can do, what your heart can sense, and what your spirit can become. And this is only the beginning, closing the return of the remembering ones. Here you are, no longer just listening, but remembering. You've crossed the threshold. You've traveled through 7 ancient gates, and with each one, you've unlocked a piece of yourself you once believed lost. But the truth is, it was never gone, only buried, waiting beneath layers of distraction, fear, conditioning, and amnesia. Now the veil is thinner. Now the current flows stronger. Now you know. You know that you are more than what the world told you. That behind your eyes lives a force that can communicate without words, perceive what others cannot see, know what logic cannot explain, move energy with will, remember the future, heal with presence, and soar beyond the body. You are not a seeker anymore. You are a carrier of knowledge, of light, of a lineage older than time. And yet, this is not the end. It is the return. You have not been given these powers to rise above others. You have remembered them to help others rise. These gifts were never about escape. They are about embodiment, becoming fully human, fully divine, fully awake in every breath. The world does not need more noise. It needs more vibrational presence. Souls who remember, souls who radiate, souls who walk in silence but speak with frequency. Here is your task, not from me, but from your own soul. Use these powers to heal, uplift, and liberate. When someone speaks in pain, hear the thought beneath their words. When you walk into a room, let your presence shift the vibration. When you dream, listen for messages from your higher self. When you sit in stillness, allow intuition to chart your course. When you hold a loved one, let your hands transmit peace. And when the world tries to convince you that you are small, smile, because now you know you are infinite in disguise. You came here at this time in history for a reason, to awaken when others forget, to embody what others doubt, to become the bridge between the visible and the invisible, between heaven and earth, between what is and what can be. Let this final truth ring in your being. You are the ritual. You are the healing. You are the prophecy. You are the revelation. The hidden powers of the human being were never meant to stay hidden. They were waiting for someone like you to remember them and walk among the sleeping world as one who is awake. You are not alone. Others are waking up too. And when enough of us rise, the very structure of reality will change. We are the rememberers, the ones who feel energy in a handshake, who hears the silence between words, who dream wide awake, who carry ancient keys in modern hearts. You have remembered. Now live as if you never forgot. This is the end of the words, but the beginning of the activation. Go. Let the powers awaken in every cell, every step, every breath. The world is ready. The question is, are you?